Hi everyone, welcome to the garden. I've decided to do some planting today, and the first thing we're going to do is to plant some strawberries. But what I've done is to create a strawberry container garden, or at least in preparation for it. It consists of, in this case, it's a 15-litre bucket, which is about 4 gallons instead of the 20-gallon. And as you can see, we've drilled holes all around it, but because it's going on a fence line, the back of it, we haven't drilled any holes. So in each of those holes we're going to plant a strawberry plant, and this is going to be a hanging basket. Now, because we have plants all at different levels in the bucket, I've also created a watering pipe, and this will go into the center of the bucket like so, in there. And as we fill that up, I've drilled a number of holes at different levels, and of course that'll keep the soil consistently moist right through the planter. It's quite easy. Just take in this case, a 1.5 inch pipe, and you can get caps to cap the end, but being a wood turner, you wouldn't be a wood turner unless you'll be able to make a plug, so which we did in this one. So yeah, so we'll get on and plant those and show you the finished product, hopefully. First things first, I'm going to make a potting mix. I've bought a store-bought potting mix, a general grow, but to which I'm going to add some of my compost from my own compost heap, and we'll add a little bit of fertiliser as well, so to give it an all-round mix. So we'll start out with an all-purpose mix. These are an old pair of pruning shears. I've got a new pair, so they don't even make good scissors. They're that old and horrible. I just put it into a garbage can. And to that I add about 1/3 again of my own compost. He's already got the nice wiggly worms through it. So we'll have worm castings and the like in there. And we'll just mix all of that in. And to that, I will add a good mix of pellet fertiliser. And we'll give that a good mix up as well. And that's our mix ready to go. Okay, so now we take our pot and we fill in the bottom up to the first few holes with soil. Bring that across. So 1, 2, 3, cut these ones. And here are our strawberries, and we're using... So these are the strawberries we're going to use. They're called Temptation. They're an early fruiting variety and a heavy fruiter. So then they say they're ideal for pots and containers. So that's what we're going to do. Now, with strawberries, what you need to do is not to bury it below the line that you're taking out of the planter. So we're going to very carefully make sure that we don't bury it below that line. And the idea is to get a bit of a head start in doing that. I think everybody would be familiar to see strawberries growing in rows and covered with black plastic. We're going to do pretty much the same sort of thing here, just by grabbing a black garbage bag. I'm going to just cut off a square. Probably that's good for a couple of squares. And what we'll do is to fold that over once and fold it over again, and we're just going to take out that corner there so that we have a little hole, and I'm going to cut that like so. So when it comes to now removing our plant, which we can do, ready for planting. Making sure we leave one in. Our little black circle goes at ground level around the plant. Protecting that from the soil level, and then we're going to take those out, plant it into our planter, and the plastic becomes the little black piece of black plastic becomes like a seal, so we don't go any further. And we poke that in, and so what we then have is our first little plant just poking through. So I'll continue on doing that, and I'll show you when it's all done. Now, by the way, at this stage it's probably a good idea to put our watering piece in there, right down the bottom, and pack that in around there as well. Okay, be back in a minute. Okay, so there's our first bucket, and as you can see, we've got to even put 3 strawberry plants at the top, and there's our watering tube in the centre. Now we just go and hang it up somewhere. By the way, if you're wondering, yes, we did drill 1/4 inch holes in the bottom of the bucket. So as you can probably see it now, excess water is dripping out, so it's all getting saturated, which is what we want. Let's hope it works.